hydrohut.com. That's HydroHut at hydrohutonline.com.
Well, this formula is specifically to grow cannabis.
That's Ray Kogo for Kogo's Original Cannabis Formula Nutrients.
Now, everybody knows that large buds and tight buds come from genetics, and then the amount of light you use. The other part is having the correct nutrients that the plant's going to use. Mine specifically to grow cannabis, so it's going to get everything that it needs.
Ray knows what you may not. Those nutrient companies you can get in most grow shops are not cannabis specific. That means they take the stuff out of the bloom that your plant needs in bloom. You can get Kogo's Original Cannabis Formula Nutrients too. It's just 2 1-gallon jugs that make over 600 gallons of nutrients, all for less than $100. See the difference for yourself.
More trichomes, bigger buds, faster growth, and for less money.
Go to CANNABISformula.com or call Ray direct at 517-375-8998. That's 517-375-8998. Kogo's Original Cannabis Formula Nutrients. Hey, Steve Greene here for the Medical Marijuana Certifications at AMMP. They're the American Medical Marijuana Professionals. You'll find them just north of Utica Road on Gratiot in Roseville. Their address is 28349. Now, call-ins are welcome, but you're better off calling for an appointment. They have a toll-free number, 877-RX-420-99. That's 877-RX-420-99 for American Medical Marijuana Professionals. That's AMMP on Gratiot in Roseville. Medical Marijuana Certification. And now you can find out everything you need to know online at getpotid.com. Or write down this toll-free number, 855-DOC-CERT. A friendly specialist will direct you to our Farmington Hills office. Medical Marijuana Certification. GetPotID.com. It's the key to getting your card. Information, resources, and in the end, if you're qualified, a medical card. Call toll-free right now, 855-DOC-CERT. That's 855-DOC-CERT. It's GetPotID.com.
You know, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everything you've helped us. Grateful for everything that you've done for me. And, you know, I truly believe that if you weren't there helping me as much as you had, it would have been really difficult. It would have been a really difficult task. I just found out that I am now 100% reoccurring cancer-free. Everything's clean, head to toe, lymph nodes, thyroid, kidneys, lungs, liver, head, neck, everything. 100% clean, and they have no sign of anything in there. So I'm feel like I'm on top of the world, and I actually owe it all to my dad. And if it wasn't for my dad helping push me through, I probably would have gave up. Yeah, and I feel great now. I honestly do. I feel
Sit down for a minute?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm old. Yeah, and keep educating. Keep learning. Keep, hang around for a while.
Yeah, I'm here for a while. I ain't going nowhere now.
So.
I beat stage 3. What else there's nothing I can't do.
Yeah.
So what my doctor told me is that, ingesting cannabis into your body, that it's actually, they believe that it's known to shrink or possibly even kill small cancer cells in the body. And with looking at that, how I've always indulged in cannabis my whole life, and I really believe that by doing that, it kept my cancer at bay. Because I really believe that if I wasn't using that previous through stage 1, 2, and 3, that I'd probably actually have stage 4 right now, and I'd be terminal. And today I can say I haven't had any pain meds in my body now for probably at least a month, and I feel great.
You got more balance, too.
Yeah, I'm not running into anything anymore, and I'm on a new path of life here. I mean, I was given pretty much a second chance of life, and I blew that first one off. I ain't doing that with this one. So now it's like, I'm just going to live life to its fullest, because you never know when it's gone. So it's, it's great. It's great. I'm really happy today. Everything's falling into place. And
when I see when you do smoke some here and there, that you're all right.
Yeah, because I mean, I eat a lot.
You're too
It really helps. Yeah, it really helps with my nausea too, because I still get hit with the nausea every once in a while. And
I never thought I'd say this, but you know what? I am truly glad that you do smoke cannabis.
Wow, that actually means a lot.
It does. I never thought I'd really say that to anybody. But
I've never been told that. I've always been told not to.
I can see that and how much it does help you, and and
I appreciate that, Dad.
But yeah, well, I am.
Totally means a lot to me.
I can see a difference in you.
Well, thank you, Dad, and I can see one in me too. and I try to show everybody
That's an important thing right there.
It is.
You can see it yourself.
Yeah, 'cause I couldn't see it before.
No, you couldn't. I'm proud that you're my son that smokes cannabis. Maybe I'm going to have to give you a T-shirt that says that.
Countdown to launch. The medical marijuana
Launch commit.
radio show.
Guidance is internal. Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. Power clear.
The medical marijuana radio show is a production of the Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
You tuned in to that medical marijuana show. 855-MMRS radio.
Keep it legal, keep it legal, keep it legal, keep it legal.
You tuned in to that medical marijuana show. 855-MMRS radio.
Just before May, it's cold as heck outside. We're live in Detroit. We're in the studios in Detroit.
Okay, Steve is the host with the co-host Denise. Starting at noon Saturdays every week. Yes, we keeping you legal. Legislators and lawyers, doctors and the growers. The show is for the people. Michigan medical marijuana, no hassle. We talk about anything, any issue we can handle. Call us up and let us know what is on your mind. And make sure when you do it legal every time. Tune in to that medical marijuana show. 855-MMRS radio.
So we made it to the 28th of April, 2012. Boy, we're getting towards the halfway point of the year already. I can't even, well, really not yet. But
don't say that. That's scary.
It just seems like it's not, it's going to be a blink and a nod, and it's going to be gone.
Wow.
Speaking of which, so we got some stuff to talk about today with regards to what's coming up this month and trying to get things in order and trying to make sense of where we're at this point, because nobody knows where we're at. Does anybody know where we're at with what's going on with the law, with what's going on with events? I think that's what the show's here is for, to try to make sense of some of that stuff.
We have a lot of information to give to people today about a couple of different subjects, and I'm sure we'll give some clarity.
We got these bills coming before the House. We've been talking about this for eons now. It seems like it's just been, worse than a soap opera. And so we're trying to figure out what's going on at the House level. So we'll talk about that a little bit today. We made we shook this around last week when we were out at Spittler's place at Med Joint in Kalamazoo. What a great time we had out there.
Great people, wonderful location.
I'm telling you, Kevin's the best host ever. You get a chance to go out to the Med Joint in Kalamazoo, stop by and say hi to Kevin. He and
Trina are wonderful hosts. And the Med Joint itself is a nice facility, plus having the testing right on site is a big advantage.
And I love that dog he's got. That dog is badass.
You know it, yes. The dog will not appreciate the comment, but everybody else will.
He keeps with the pointing of the nose and the jumping. It's really cool.
Yeah.
He's got an Australian Shepherd. I think they're trained to do herding and stuff, and he just jumps and bounces. He taps people. He jumps with his nose and taps you.
So calm and no barking at all. It was really very nice. Plus, they had enough space there to be able to accommodate our radio broadcast without interfering with the regular business that they do. They have nice sofas down there, a lot of accessories, really all the way around.
Mentioned last week we're going to start a contest this week, and so we'll talk about what's going on with the contest. We'll actually tell you how you can get registered to be a part of the contest. There are significant prizes involved. That's a good thing.
Yes, it sure is. And Puff Danny's provided one of the prizes right off the bat. Sounds great.
Puff Danny's down there in Wyandotte, right there on Woodward. And he's been a part. We've had him on the show talking about stuff before. We've been out at his place before.
Is it Telegraph?
It is Telegraph.
I thought it was Woodworth.
Why do I say Woodward?
That's okay. It's in
Woodward turnaround there.
That's right.
Anyway, so Puff Danny's in Wyandotte, the Glass Emporium. He does the glass blowing and stuff. So I won't tell you the prize yet. But we'll talk about that during the show. What else? What happened to Denise? I thought Denise was going to be here today. She said she was going to take a 2-week break. I thought she was coming back. I don't know what happened.
She may very well show. Stuff happens in life, but a lot of other things happen in the news, too. President Obama made some statements about...
look, I brought her a shirt. Hey, Denise, look, it's a shirt.
Is it a shirt or is it a hand towel?
I don't know. It's more like I don't know.
That's a...
It's something that you floss with.
I certainly couldn't wear that and walk out in public. That's for
Anyway, go ahead. So we got a shirt for you, Denise. Come on in.
Yeah. Okay. But, the fact is there's lots of news going on, and even though there may not be a lot of things that are catching other people's eyes, we are on topic, as always, and we'll be able to bring you the stuff that might have slipped under your radar this week.
I want to get a hold of Haas. We're going to, we're doing these live broadcast events out in front of places. I'll just give you the heads up next week, Cinco de Mayo, out there near the Tigers game. We've got the Marijuana March. It's the Global Marijuana March. We're taking part in Detroit,
Freedom March.
Right down there at Grand Circus Park. And is that where it ends up, or is that where it starts? I'm not sure.
Both, actually. It starts at Grand Circus Park at noon, and then at like 3:30 we do the march. At 4 o'clock when the Tigers game starts, we do the march, which march down to Tiger Stadium, and then all the way around, and then back down Woodward. So it'll be a nice little parade through a beautiful part of town.
So it's circular.
Circular.
You go around in a cycle.
Ovula.
So we got that going on. We're going to do that's next Saturday. So we'll be out there with a booth doing a live broadcast out there then.
Haasmeister, what a great guy. He and his crew are wonderful folks.
And so I'm hoping to meet up with Haas down there. We get some shirts from him. I brought a bunch of shirts here today. I'll show them off. I'll show off one now. We got a couple of these. But see, the thing that's wrong with them, there's nothing wrong with them. I love the shirts. They're awesome. But I just didn't have them put on the website. Because here says the Medical Marijuana Radio Show, for those of you who can't see on camera. It says the Medical Marijuana Radio Show right across the front. But it doesn't say, where you can find the show, like 1310. It doesn't say RadioWeedshow.com. It doesn't say Ustream. It doesn't say YouTube.
Bud TV.
Has none of our contact info on there. So we're hoping to get some contact info on there. And I think Haas said we'd get we'll try and get order like 50 shirts at a time from him, and we'll be able to sell some and give some away out there at these live broadcasts, because we keep doing more and more of them all the time.
Great guy, Haas.
So we got people from Hydro Hut here. We've got a new intern in the studio. We're still looking to see where Denise is. Maybe we can get her on the phone and talk about what's going on with these bills. So much more to come on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. Folks, don't go away.
Got something to say?
Call now toll free. 855-MMM Radio. The Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
If you are a carded Michigan medical marijuana patient with a need for safe access but have reservations about privacy and discretion, there is an answer. It's the Ant Farm. The Ant Farm is Metro Detroit's trusted professional mobile transfer service. Write this toll-free number down, 888-369-3320. Lab-tested, mold and pesticide-free. It's the Ant Farm's convenience you'll try, but quality standards, privacy, and friendly professionals that will bring you back. The Ant Farm comes to you. Call for discreet details right away. 888-369-3320.
If you or someone you know received a traffic ticket, has been charged with a misdemeanor, drinking and driving, criminal offense, or has had their driver's license taken away, they need an attorney. They need attorney Glenn McCandless. He's helped hundreds of people solve their legal problems over the past 16 years.
My law firm is dedicated to providing quality legal services at affordable rates.
Call us at 586-755-2900. Again, that's 586-755-2900. Call now.
The Committee for a Safer Michigan is collecting signatures to put repeal of marijuana prohibition for adults on the November ballot, and we need your help. Outlawing marijuana has not reduced its availability, made society safe, nor reduced access for minors. Marijuana prohibition has wasted limited tax dollars, put otherwise law-abiding citizens in handcuffs, eroded the public's relationship with law enforcement, and denied relief to seriously ill, injured, and dying citizens that were supposed to be protected by the Michigan Medical Marijuana Act. The Committee for a Safer Michigan is working to legalize marijuana for adults, and we need your help to put it on the ballot. Go to repealtoday.org to find out more about this historic effort. That's repealtoday.org to learn more, or call 269-548-8422 to end prohibition and sign the petition. Ending marijuana prohibition will reduce access by minors, allow law enforcement to focus on violent crime, reduce gang activity and organized crime, and create jobs by allowing a new Michigan hemp industry. Paid for with regulated funds by the Committee for a Safer Michigan, 2930 East Jefferson Avenue, Detroit, Michigan, 48207.
The law offices of Targowski & Grow remind you to stand up for your rights. Always treat law enforcement with respect, but if you're detained or arrested, stand up for your rights by repeating, I respectfully invoke all of my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search or seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to talk to my attorneys, John Targowski and Daniel Grow. Targowski & Grow have the education and experience you need to be successful in Michigan courts. Call Targowski & Grow toll-free, 800-957-1069. The law offices of Targowski & Grow, 800-957-1069.
Attention! Find out how to claim your free offer from Urban Genetics at the end of this message. Start growing right. Know your strain. Get the right seeds and clones at affordable prices from the leader in genetics in Michigan. And it's Urban Genetics. Urban Genetics carries it all. Sativas, indicas, hybrids, autoflower, even rare high CBD strains or hard-to-find strains. Call now and get your free seeds by mentioning this radio ad. Some restrictions apply. Urban Genetics, 248-266-0980. Call Urban Genetics now for this one-time limited free offer. 248-266-0980.
The sun goes down, the stars come out, and all that counts is here and now. My universe will never be the same. I'm glad you came.
It's the Medical Marijuana Radio Show.
Playing internet games at the radio station on 1310 AM WDTW, Detroit's Progressive Talk. You've hit the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. Folks, we're here every Saturday from noon until 1.
He said hit the radio show.
It's a little pun. So, I didn't even know I said that.
I know, you're so bad.
It's weird. So, look, the bills. I'm hoping maybe we can get a lawyer on the phone. Can you call Tylenda? See if we can get Tylenda to talk about this.
I can call Paul, my friend Paul Tylenda, but House Bill 4834, 4851, 4853, 4856.
Yes, thank you. Boy, you've got a memory like an elephant there.
Well, yeah, cool. I write blogs about these bills all the time. I'm about as good as any lawyer gets.
Rattle those numbers off like it was a soch.
Mm-hmm. Yep. In fact, those of you that didn't see my most recent blog, 26% is a win for House Democrats. You should take a look at that on the Patch Network, also on weedblogs.com, in which I talk about how the Democrats really only need 29 votes. They have 47 Democrats in the House. Only 29 of them need to say no to the two bills, 4834 and 4851, in order to stop them from being passed, because those are bills that directly affect the Michigan Medical Marijuana Act and therefore require a supermajority, 3/4. And this is all they need to do for the Democrats to get their only victory of the year. They've been kicked around like a soccer ball all year long by the Republicans in the House because they have no majority. They've been ignored. If maybe you saw in the recent news about the immediate effect rule and how the Republicans have been forcing it down their throat even when they don't have the 2/3 that are required. Well, this is one chance for the Democrats to stand up and maybe gain some respect for themselves by stopping bad legislation from happening. And, oh, by the way, there's about 200,000 registered voters that are part of the Michigan Medical Marijuana Program that are probably going to respect you in November when it comes time for them to show their vote.
Yeah. I just noticed that I was going to play the applause thing when you started talking about the House bills. And I noticed that I don't have our soundboard isn't up here. I don't have all our, sound effects I got up here?
Who's that?
I got the Latifah Show sound effects.
Oh, hey, I bet that's got some great pumping music.
I want to play it, but I don't want to make anybody mad. So, Danny, could you do me a favor and keep me from being a bad boy by coming and taking these buttons away from me and giving us our own buttons? Otherwise, I'm likely to make somebody angry.
FYI, I was playing applause for myself in my head while I was talking about that, so if that makes you feel any better.
I want to push a button, Denny, but somebody's going to get mad. Woo!
All right.
I'm so tempted.
No, but the House bills are actually passed out of the Judiciary Committee, and they're sitting on the floor of the House ready to be voted on at this time. So the Speaker of the House could bring those up for a vote anytime he wanted to. There are some amendments that were proposed to that. What we found out in the Judiciary is that they like to bring up the amendments and put them into law the same day they vote so that nobody has any way to know about ahead of time. The real crime here, though, is that none of the current language of these bills is available on the Michigan.gov website. It's not. The only way you can find it is by going to a website where one of my friends, Christiana Offerman Moore, has loaded these onto her webpage, and that's the Can of Miracles website, CANNAMIRACLES.com. If you go to the helpful links, you'll find that there's links there to the current language for all 4 of those bills. And to the best of my knowledge, that and possibly the Michigan Medical Marijuana Association website, those are the only 2 places you can probably find the correct current language at all on the Internet.
Let's invite people in on the phones. If you want to call and be a part of the show today, 810-423-2350 for the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. Talking about the bills. Talking about, the law as it comes forward, and then also maybe if you want to bring up, if you got an event coming up, if you want to promote your own thing, we'll make it a free plug show, too, and go ahead and get your free plug on. Why not?
Free plug show. Hey, don't come to the radio station expecting a plug, though. Not giving away free plugs.
We're not giving away hair plugs, either. No hair plugs.
Ooh. So I know some people that could use that.
Hey, I'm starting to look. If you never mind, we won't go there. The Rogaine did not work.
That's the advantage of a radio show, is that we don't have to go there. Now we do the podcast.
Never use Rogaine. So we got our buttons back. That's probably a good thing because there you go. See, Adam can't hear the sound.
Nice.
You got headphones. You got it. Okay, I saw an ear sticking out over there. I didn't realize there was any heads over there. So now what I'm interested in is the fact that Kavanaugh and Irwin were on the show last week. Both of them, denouncing these bills.
Well, more importantly, Kavanaugh, who sponsored 4851, which is the bill originally designed to alter the doctor-patient relationship, it's been so terribly hijacked by the Republicans that on our own show last week, he even admitted that he probably will vote against his own bill because of the manipulations.
Broke that here first.
Yes.
You heard it here first on the, who was amazed by that? He's like, Bill Leitner. Bill Leitner over the Free Press was like, you guys broke that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the beautiful thing about this is that when they come on to these programs, they feel comfortable talking about all kinds of different subjects with us because we're non-threatening. We're not there to ambush them. We just are looking for information. And this is how you truly find out how your legislators feel. At one of these opportunities, like a coffee hour or on a radio interview, when their guard is down and they're really just speaking directly from the heart.
Well, and they figure out that we're not crazy. I am not a crackpot. That's right. We're not nutso.
We're not shootyites. No, we're not.
It's just not that way.
We're not so far out on the limb.
And really, this is what I love about this, anyways, is because when for the people who use this medicine, and for you guys who are listening to the show and are unfamiliar with the subject or the substance involved. These are your neighbors. These are your friends. These are these are grandmothers and grandfathers. These are respected citizens in the community with real jobs and real lives, and they've been horribly impacted by an illness that this provides relief for. And there is, in the face of all this propaganda and all this cemented illness, when I say illness, I'm talking about the way that they put the moniker on the pot people.
The drug war hysteria, right?
Over so many years. And it's just not fair. It's not fair that those people have to pay the price for these other points of view.
Well, illness knows no bounds. It doesn't care about your race. It doesn't care about your socioeconomic status. It doesn't care what part of the country you live in or who your daddy was or how many years of college you had. None of that matters. And the one thing that most of these legislators will admit to you is that there's somebody in their family that's sick. Now, whether they're willing to go with a medical marijuana solution or not at this point, a lot of it has to depend on whether or not it's a legal solution available to them or whether there's any friends of theirs that's backing up the validity of what we say. The longer that the medical marijuana program's in effect, you'll have more people backing up the validity of that, and the closer we are to legalization, the easier it's going to be for people to justify using that would have never not done it otherwise. We had a conversation earlier about what's going to happen if we pass the repealtoday.org effort and we legalize marijuana in Michigan and remove the criminal penalties. What it's not going to do, it's not going to create a tax and regulate system. It's not going to automatically put marijuana in pharmacies, and it's not going to bring Philip Morris and the tobacco companies in here.
Yeah.
None of that stuff is going to happen because it still remains illegal on a federal basis. But what it will do is remove the penalties for that. So they can say, yes, you were over your account, but there's no penalty in the law for that anymore, so we can't really do anything to you about it.
And that's important to get people to know that.
Right.
A lot of people don't think that.
Pull that mic down, Adam. There you go.
A lot of people don't think that.
This is Adam from Hydro Hut, by the way.
Adam from Hydro Hut.
Hey, more applause. Yay, more applause. There's more applause. Yeah, we can't miss the applause. Where's the applause button? I'm a crackpot. There we go. We got the applause button. And we got some laughter on that one.
Hydro Hut on Michigan Avenue in Inkster. Stop
Dude,
by.
I think the laughter came from the other room. Hey, I didn't push the laughter button. Okay, go ahead.
But a lot of people think that when they're trying to make it legal, that it's going to be legal on the federal level.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't want it to happen. So a lot of people don't want to sign that petition that I have, sitting in my shop because they're afraid, it's going to be legal. All the cigarette companies are going to get it. They don't realize that we spoke about earlier. That it's just going to be Michigan that makes it a legality. So none of the cigarette companies can get a hold of anything and do anything about it.
Well, so, can I just interject here? The point that you guys are making here is that sometimes the people that we're fighting are our own people. Is that the point you're making?
And it's about incorrect information being delivered.
Right,
That's
exactly.
correct. And sometimes that's the fault of the Committee for a Safer Michigan, of which I'm a member of. So that's our responsibility for getting the word out there. But when I talk about the bills not being available online, that's the government intentionally not giving information to citizens, right? They're intentionally trying to keep that from you, because you know how easy it is to put something on the internet. The House of Representatives has IT guys. That's all they do is update it all day long. So that could be available to them if they chose to make it so. But they don't. Why? Because they're afraid of those 200,000 people I talked about that are part of the registry database. And just like people are confused about the difference between a state legalization and federal legalization, what happens in the House, being a mystery to the general populace, serves them well. They have fewer questions to answer. They don't have as many people in their office all the time. But that's not really how a democratic system works, and it's not how a representative system of government is supposed to work. So we need greater access, and we need the information transfer available without a filter. And that's something that they're afraid of, because they know that it's a politically explosive issue, and they want to protect their re-electability.
Well, this business with these bills, I'm really kind of curious as to what's going to happen. I'm really waiting with bated breath. These things are happening just as early next week, these bills getting voted on. And it's just at the House level. It's still got to go through the Senate, get bobbled around and get adjusted over there, and then eventually come around for, if both of them get 75%, then it's got to get signed by the governor, which will pretty much be instant. And because these bills require, well, most of them, not all of them, require 75% majority, they go into effect instantly. They have no waiting period. They have immediate effect. So I'd be very concerned, because I think there are some people rubbing their hands together. Can't wait for that immediate effect to take place.
Well, that's for sure. What they're really trying to do is disencourage people from enrolling in the program. And what you do, you make it more difficult for them to do. You make it tougher for doctors to make recommendations. You make it ridiculous for people to safely transport their medicine in their cars. You make it illegal for them to operate firearms or stay in their rental homes with us.
And I don't want to make it sound to Rep. Walsh and all these guys who worked so hard on this that we're slapping them in the face at all. No. I respect these people. They've worked really hard in our favor at many times. Sometimes not in our favor, but this is what these guys do. This is the alphabet soup of politics they got to swim through. And so I respect them for the process in place, and that they took the cojones on to address this.
Sure.
But the fact of the matter is that what we're left with in the long run is something that's more restrictive and doesn't do anything to help patients and caregivers, which is what the act is about.
Well, and the fact that that they allowed some amendments to be sprung at the last minute on the day that the bills were voted on out of the House, that left a lot of people that were involved in that negotiating process feeling hollow and cheated. And then, of course, by not putting the current language of the bills on the House of Representatives website so that everybody in the state can take a look at it, so that journalists can see exactly what's being proposed, I think that's a strategic, tactical move. And as far as I'm concerned, anytime you keep information from people for your own selfish purposes, then that's an illegal action as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it certainly isn't above the board, is it?
No.
And it doesn't kind of mirror the reflection of the whole idea of hiding facts from finders of fact, hiding facts from juries, which is one of the things that's in the bill.
And
let's hide that. Don't tell the jury. No, for goodness sakes, the jury can't find out the truth. They might acquit these guys, and then we can't charge them anymore. Well, that's what we're trying to do, you duh!
That's exactly right.
I had to edit myself there, otherwise I'd have got dumb.
I'm glad you did the editing. But, it's no comfort to me. Every time people say, well, that's how they do all laws. They're not treating you any differently than it. Well, then our system's broken, dude. If hiding information from the populace is the standard operating procedure, then we need a mechanic in our government. It needs a tune-up on that little system check there. And maybe this is the first issue where people are so involved in it that we demand change. And maybe we demand change not only on our our issue, but that change then affects the entire process, and by which we can have a positive effect on all aspects of social change.
I'm sorry, I was laughing because I was watching me exclaim my and I look like a chicken without feathers trying to fly. It's not good.
For those of you that normally watch the podcast, you'll notice there's a new monitor behind us over here that we've got set up, so it kind of delay.
Yeah, it's got about a 30-second delay. I turned around and saw myself, flapping my arms like I was gonna, whirling dervish. There he goes, the Tasmanian devil. Who knows?
That's crazy.
So, the bill's coming due to be voted on. There should be this week, and like I said, I can't wait to see what happens. I mean, this is going to have effect right away, and I'm concerned that some of these bills are going to get passed and some of them are not, and that just makes for a whole haystack of question marks, doesn't it?
You can absolutely expect that that's probably going to happen. Two of the bills, 4853 and 4856, simply require a 50% vote. They don't require a three-quarter majority.
You know why? Because they address the penal code and they address, I think, motor vehicle code or something.
That's right. Now, of course, both of them do affect the Medical Marijuana Act, and there's some concern amongst attorneys as to whether or not they can be challenged in court after their passage because they were incorrectly assigned penal code or driving code as opposed to going directly to the Michigan Medical Marijuana Act. But the other two, 4853 and 4851, which present the largest group of changes to the Act itself, those do
require relationship. They define a lot of terms. The whole issue about the jury hearing defense,
but to law enforcement, to park rangers, and to anybody carrying
park rangers.
It's in there. I kid you not. I wish I was lying. But
I'm waiting for the mall security guy to start running your medical marijuana card. And the little high school wannabe, the cop wannabe guy with the flashlights bigger than his leg.
So here's the deal, though, and you can understand where police's problem is. Anybody that has access to lien then has access to the ability to get this information about medical marijuana. They don't screen out who's asking for it in the lien system. If you got access, you get it. So all of the people, like park rangers who have lien in their trucks when they're out in the national forest, and these temporary deputies or people from Homeland Security, anybody that has access to Michigan's Law Enforcement and Information Network will then have access to that. And that's not really what the voters intended in 2008. The protections that were written into the Act are indicative of a much more shield-like use of the Medical Marijuana Act as opposed to the sword-like use that it's being used for currently by the Attorney General's office. Here's a statistic, by the way, Steve, just real quick I wanted to throw in there. 228%. 228%. You know what that represents? The increase in arrests for marijuana in Michigan from 2007 to 2010. Wow. 228%. 68% is the increase in the amount of plants seized in that exact same time.
Where are these stats coming from?
From the Department of Drug Enforcement Administration.
From the DEA.
Wow. Yep, I wish it wasn't true. I really do, but that's absolutely the case. Now, not only that, we've had a couple of rulings recently, too. Go ahead. I
was going to say, outside of these other rulings, when we were talking about the, because we're getting ready to go to break, I wanted to mention the idea that, who in the government here, is making a big deal about the whole pot thing? It's the Obama administration. I mean, this business about them, did you hear him do some more clarification this week? He was on Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I'd love to read to our listeners exactly what he said in the Rolling Stone interview, because I think that's very indicative of his whole attitude. But the Jimmy Fallon thing was news to me. You brought me in on that one.
I thought the president was trying to get out of the weeds with, the federal, he's like the one that's trying to screw everybody, but, I thought the Secret Service had to rap on that. I don't know.
Growing pot in the shadow of the White House in D.C. already. Whoa!
I really just wish he'd get his head squared on, but I just, based on what he said there, I don't think it's going to happen.
Not happy with this next 4 years.
I was hoping it was just a farce for the election year process, and then maybe changes, not going to happen. More to come on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. Don't go away.
More of your calls next. You gonna bend over or no? Yeah. Okay. Steve and Rick will be right back after this. The Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
The law offices of Targowski & Grow remind you to stand up for your rights. Always treat law enforcement with respect, but if you're detained or arrested, stand up for your rights by repeating, I respectfully invoke all of my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search or seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to talk to my attorneys, John Targowski and Daniel Grow. Targowski & Grow have the education and experience you need to be successful in Michigan courts. Call Targowski & Grow toll-free, 800-957-1069. The law offices of Targowski & Grow, 800-957-1069. 888-357-1069.
If you are a carded Michigan medical marijuana patient with a need for safe access but have reservations about privacy and discretion, there is an answer. It's the Ant Farm. The Ant Farm is Metro Detroit's trusted professional mobile transfer service. Write this toll-free number down, 888-369-3320. Lab-tested, mold and pesticide-free. It's the Ant Farm's convenience you'll try, but quality standards, privacy, and friendly professionals that will bring you back. The Ant Farm comes to you. Call for discreet details right away. 888-369-3320.
Hey, Steve Greene here to tell you about my good friends over at the Hydro Hut Garden Supply Store in Inkster. Why am I so excited about Hydro Hut? The $200 Mad Light deal. That's right. $200 gets you a 1,000-watt high-pressure sodium bulb, an E-wing reflector, and a digital ballast. That's right, a digital one. Call them today at 313-228-5544. It's Hydro Hut. It's 20% off on your first purchase, but you got to mention the Medical Marijuana Radio Show to get it. Check them out at hydrohutonline.com. That's Hydro Hut at hydrohutonline.com.
Hey, Steve Greene here for the Medical Marijuana Certifications at AMMP. They're the American Medical Marijuana Professionals. You'll find them just north of Utica Road on Gratiot in Roseville. Their address is 28349. Now, call-ins are welcome, but you're better off calling for an appointment. They have a toll-free number, 877-RX-420-99. That's 877-RX-420-99 for American Medical Marijuana Professionals. That's AMMP on Gratiot in Roseville.
If you or someone you know received a traffic ticket, has been charged with a misdemeanor, drinking and driving, criminal offense, or has had their driver's license taken away, they need an attorney. They need attorney Glenn McCandless. He's helped hundreds of people solve their legal problems over the past 16 years.
My law firm is dedicated to providing quality legal services at affordable rates.
Call us at 586-755-2900. Again, that's 586-755-2900. Call now.
Attention! Find out how to claim your free offer from Urban Genetics at the end of this message. Start growing right. Know your strain. Get the right seeds and clones at affordable prices from the leader in genetics in Michigan. And it's Urban Genetics. Urban Genetics carries it all. Sativas, indicas, hybrids, autoflower, even rare high CBD strains or hard-to-find strains. Call now and get your free seeds by mentioning this radio ad. Some restrictions apply. Urban Genetics, 248-266-0980. Call Urban Genetics now for this one-time limited free offer. 248-266-0980.
Oh, she's going to be mad. No, she's not going to be mad. It wasn't this one, but it'll be the next one. I like the new rejoin music. It's kind of fun. So, welcome back to the Medical Marijuana Radio Show about 22 minutes before 1 o'clock. The Detroit Homegrown Show coming on at 1. You get this bit of, news and information on the whole pot subject. It's really the medical marijuana subject. I prefer to call it cannabis, because that's really what it is. Medicine. Well, the marijuana thing was really a slang term from Mexico. That's where it started out.
Well, and we don't want to perpetuate any drug war hysteria,
Right.
So we use modern terms for modern medicine.
How about the real term? That's its medical term. If you look it up.
Sativa L.
Yeah, if you look it up in the book with the little picture that's hand drawn from the guy that anyway. They draw the pictures. It's the Audubon Society.
Right. But we were talking before the break about President Obama, and I wanted to read to our listeners online. This is what President Obama said in an interview with Rolling Stone. He tried to explain his original comments, claiming that the recent pressure on dispensaries and providers was in line with his intent. Quoting President Obama, what I specifically said was that we were not going to prioritize prosecutions of persons who are using medical marijuana. I never made a commitment that somehow we were going to give carte blanche to large-scale producers and operators of marijuana. And the reason is because it's against federal law. I can't nullify congressional law. I can't ask the Justice Department to say, ignore completely a federal law that's on the books. What I can say is, use your prosecutorial discretion and properly prioritize your resources to go after things that are really doing folks damage. As a consequence, there haven't been prosecutions of users of marijuana for medical purposes. End quote.
Wait a minute. What about Richard Lee?
I got to tell you, I don't agree with half of the things that he said in there.
No, I mean, first off, the whole idea that the reason that the feds used to close down Oaksterdam or try to go raid Oaksterdam is they said they were too close to a school. Hey, you got two schools too close to each other. That's against federal law.
So prosecutorial...
It's like the school magnetism rule. You can't be too close to each other.
So prosecutorial discretion in this case was obviously abused by the prosecutors in the federal district in California. And they've also gone to such a degree, as you're mentioning. California, for example, has a 600-foot rule, which means within 600 feet of a school, you're prohibited from doing it. Well, the federal drug-free school zone is 1,000 feet.
Right.
So there are some places that are between 600 and 1,000 feet because they thought they were complying with state law.
It's a gray zone. It's a gray zone in the green zone.
So now the feds come in and they say, you know, we're just going to go ahead and wipe you guys right off because you're easy, low-hanging fruit. It's a simple rule we can use to get you done.
Yep.
And they've done this.
They can claim jurisdiction that way.
And so here's where prosecutorial discretion comes in. Now, President Obama, you've empowered them to use their discretion. This is how it's being used. So now grab the chain, pull your dog back, make them sit, and then get some control over those guys that you empowered to be out in the field enforcing what you want. Because basically, if you issued an edict from your office and said, lay off these guys, they would do it.
And this is what bugs me because there was no edict issued. And if you look at the Jimmy Fallon interview where he's like, you know what? Because the next shoe to drop was we're not going to be legalizing marijuana anytime soon. We're not going to reschedule this. Things are going on status quo. Yeah. That's just not acceptable to me, Mr. Obama.
No, it's not.
I'm sorry, what happened to Yes, We Can?
In a 2012 world where we're trying to look for domestic sources of alternatives for petrochemical industry dependence, the cannabis hemp plant has the most rich seed in the entire pharmacopoeia. All right, it has the most
Provide
oil
some relief.
content.
Yes, we can.
The greatest oil content and the greatest ability to produce seeds of any of these plants that are out there. And it's from a 1930s law that it's made illegal. All we have to do is change that old way of thinking. But yet Obama, with his statements about wanting new ways to do things, is still falling into the same old trap.
Reduce our dependence on foreign oil? Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. And we can also reduce our dependence on things like Canadian and European hemp mills to mill hemp paper for us for the things we use, to mill fabric for hemp, the clothing that we do. We can become an independent thing. I heard a statistic the other day, the United States of America consumes 75% of the world's hemp, but produces 0% of the world's hemp. That's unacceptable.
Yeah. Completely. What happened to when we used to be able to pay our taxes with hemp?
Well, you know, obviously we don't want to go...
that would work really well.
Yeah,
showing up with a tax, stuffing the pot in the envelope to send it on April 15th isn't going to work for the IRS, I'm afraid.
It makes for a happy postman, though.
Yeah, it does.
But the fact is we're not going to go back to a gold standard.
That's funny. I'm sorry, that's hilarious. I've got these cartoon caricatures in my head now. It's not going to go away.
Yep. I can imagine him, teetering the car and smashing it out. Mailboxes, but the fact of the matter is, within our existing system, we can still do better. And even if we were to separate, although I'm not advocating this, even if we were to separate industrial hemp from smoked medicinal hemp, or which we call cannabis, which we call marijuana, the industrial hemp itself could still be a huge savior for the United States of America. And although I don't advocate separating them, if we could still accomplish one instead of getting none, I would rather have industrial hemp out there working for American farmers.
Yeah.
Think of all the fallow fields that you see when you're driving through the state of Michigan. Hey, let's give them a brand new product. It doesn't interfere with soybeans. It's not a human food.
I would love that.
It really isn't. So it's not going to compete with any of the existing food crops that are out there. It's not taking away farms from corn production or from sugar beets. It would absolutely empower 83 counties simultaneously to have economic prosperity.
I'm sure if you took out the cotton down in the Bible Belt and replaced it with cannabis, there would be heads exploding everywhere.
Actually, be a great turnover crop for farmers. For sure.
It is, because it's a great way to keep fields from going fallow. They use different nutrients.
Also turned over to cannabis.
It certainly is.
Crop rotation.
Yeah. So there's so many different reasons for us to adopt an industrial hemp platform here in the state of Michigan, even if that was separate and above and beyond what the feds were willing to do. And I think that we can get it done. A guy named Everett Swift, who's with the MI Hemp program, who's an excellent advocate. And if you're on the internet, MIHemp, MIHEMP.com or .org, to use the Google search, he's actually gotten several counties in Michigan to sign letters of intent saying that they would prefer to have hemp empowered in the state, and they've sent that to the legislators. And they're currently trying to get more county representatives to sign letters like that.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit really quickly, because we're running out of time. Only about 15 minutes left of the show. The repealtoday.org campaign. Concerning the cutoff date, it's only a couple of months away now.
Well, yep, exactly.
And so we need to get some signatures in. This means that we can't talk about this anymore. We can't just be celebrating it. We can't just be bobbling it about. This means roll up your sleeves, people, and commit some time to running out in your neighborhood and gathering signatures and getting it on the ballot.
Well, for those of you that haven't heard, Repeal Today is having a rally in Lansing on May 15th. We're going to be taking over the east steps with the north and south lawn on May 15th. But this is important because it's not just a single rally. It's the first of two. 1 month later, we'll be in the same. Yep, 1 month later, we'll be in the same spot. So on May 15th, we're going to get as many people there as possible. We're going to put as many petitions in their hands as we can, and we're going to say, you got 1 month. Let's fire up the turbos. Let's drink a lot of coffee.
So we're spreading the seed on May 15th, and we're harping the harvest. Reaping the harvest.
Harping the reaping.
That's nice.
I'm glad rapist didn't come out.
The Freudian slip there. I don't know what happened to that.
No, but the point being,
on June 15th, we're reaping the harvest.
Yep. So the huge advantage here is that you've got a fun event, a rally where people are going to come. They're going to be turning in petitions that are already filled up that they've just been waiting to give to somebody. Plus, they're going to get a reload. Now, think about this. That month of June is a fantastic month for outdoor events. I mean, you've got kids out of school, so there's festivals, there's concerts, there's all kinds of things around the state. So, should we get everybody there on the 15th and give them all blank petitions? It's going to be a huge success 1 month later. You're still chuckling over that.
Well, I'm chuckling at a bunch of stuff, you know. I mean, you know, have you ever seen the Saturday Night Live stuff where they make fun of the guys that do the concert events? I don't know, that's what was going on in my head. You start talking about the May 15th rally, and then I started screwing up the way I thought of, and then the Saturday Night Live stuff started popping in. I'm sorry.
No problem.
They make fun of the guys that do the concert events. It's like Stinky Mudhead, and you know they have these crazy names. It's really funny. You got to watch it. Anyways, so moving along with the rally, so we're going to be doing our live broadcast of that on May 15th. So we're going to be out there on an odd day, because the show is normally on Saturday. Tuesday, right? What time is the rally?
We're going to start it at noon. We have the lawn from 9:30 to 2:30. We may have some events earlier. Oftentimes we do drum circles, or we do some acoustic guitars, or some people can get up and chant "Free the Weed" or whatever earlier. So it's
Richard Clemens has got that all by himself. He's got that down. He doesn't even need a megaphone.
Right. Nope. He's a one-man band. The most important thing is that when we get there, though, is that everybody remembers that we're trying to make a statement that's not anti-anything. We're not there to yell about bills. We're not there to yell about legislators. We're there to say positive things about what it means to the economy in the state of Michigan, what it could potentially mean to the lives of those people affected if marijuana was decriminalized here.
So we'll be doing that live broadcast, and then what else is coming up? The Cinco de Mayo thing?
That's May 5th. Yep, that's going to be, as you mentioned, Grand Circus.
So May 5th and then May 15th. What's in the middle there? You know, I guess it's the 14th or the...
No, there's actually on May 12th, if I'm not mistaken, there's an event. Let me look in my handy.
So there's also, I want to push the idea of the Vote Green Initiative Project stuff. There's all kinds of, we're going to look that up during the break, Rick. The Vote Green Initiative Project stuff, Ben Horner, Michigan Organic Solutions.
Ed Rosenthal is in town on the 12th.
Oh, that's right. He's got a big thing coming up. More to come on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. Facts, figures, details next.
Calls next, 810-423-2350. Be right back after this on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show, the Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
Well, this formula is specifically to grow cannabis.
That's Ray Kogo for Kogo's Original Cannabis Formula Nutrients.
Now, everybody knows that large buds and tight buds come from genetics, and then the amount of light you use. The other part is having the correct nutrients that the plant's going to use. Mine specifically to grow cannabis, so it's going to get everything that it needs.
Ray knows what you may not. Those nutrient companies you can get in most grow shops are not cannabis specific. That means they take the stuff out of the bloom that your plant needs in bloom. You can get Kogo's Original Cannabis Formula Nutrients too. It's just 2 1-gallon jugs that make over 600 gallons of nutrients, all for less than $100. See the difference for yourself.
More trichomes, bigger buds, faster growth, and for less money.
Go to CANNABISformula.com or call Ray direct at 517-375-8998. That's 517-375-8998. Kogo's Original Cannabis Formula Nutrients. Hey, Steve Greene here to tell you about my good friends over at the Hydro Hut Garden Supply Store in Inkster. Why am I so excited about Hydro Hut? The $200 Mad Light deal. That's right. $200 gets you a 1,000-watt high-pressure sodium bulb, an E-wing reflector, and a digital ballast. That's right, a digital one. Call them today at 313-228-5544. It's Hydro Hut. It's 20% off on your first purchase, but you got to mention the Medical Marijuana Radio Show to get it. Check them out at hydrohutonline.com. That's Hydro Hut at hydrohutonline.com.
If you are a carded Michigan medical marijuana patient with a need for safe access but have reservations about privacy and discretion, there is an answer. It's the Ant Farm. The Ant Farm is Metro Detroit's trusted professional mobile transfer service. Write this toll-free number down, 888-369-3320. Lab-tested, mold and pesticide-free. It's the Ant Farm's convenience you'll try, but quality standards, privacy, and friendly professionals that will bring you back. The Ant Farm comes to you. Call for discreet details right away. 888-369-3320. Medical marijuana certification. And now you can find out everything you need to know online at getpotid.com. Or write down this toll-free number, 855-DOC-CERT. A friendly specialist will direct you to our Farmington Hills office. Medical marijuana certification. GetPotID.com. It's the key to getting your card. Information, resources, and in the end, if you're qualified, a medical card. Call toll-free right now, 855-DOC-CERT. That's 855-DOC-CERT. It's GetPotID.com. The law offices of Targowski and Grow remind you to stand up for your rights. Always treat law enforcement with respect, but if you're detained or arrested, stand up for your rights by repeating, I respectfully invoke all of my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search or seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to talk to my attorneys, John Targowski and Daniel Grow. Targowski and Grow have the education and experience you need to be successful in Michigan courts. Call Targowski and Grow toll-free, 800-957-1069. The law offices of Targowski and Grow, 800-957-1069. The Committee for a Safer Michigan is collecting signatures to put repeal of marijuana prohibition for adults on the November ballot, and we need your help. Outlawing marijuana has not reduced its availability, made society safe, nor reduced access for minors. Marijuana prohibition has wasted limited tax dollars, put otherwise law-abiding citizens in handcuffs, eroded the public's relationship with law enforcement, and denied relief to seriously ill, injured, and dying citizens that were supposed to be protected by the Michigan Medical Marijuana Act. The Committee for a Safer Michigan is working to legalize marijuana for adults, and we need your help to put it on the ballot. Go to repealtoday.org to find out more about this historic effort. That's repealtoday.org to learn more, or call 269-548-8422 to end prohibition and sign the petition. Ending marijuana prohibition will reduce access by minors, allow law enforcement to focus on violent crime, reduce gang activity and organized crime, and create jobs by allowing a new Michigan hemp industry. Paid for with regulated funds by the Committee for a Safer Michigan, 2930 East Jefferson Avenue, Detroit, Michigan, 48207.
Okay, this one's for Denise. No, seriously, it's for Denise.
It's the Medical Marijuana Radio Show.
If I was your boyfriend, I'd never let you go. I could take you places you ain't never been before.
Okay, so just, $5 for the first guy who can tell me who sings this song. It's Justin Bieber. I won the $5. Justin, I had to do Justin Bieber. I don't know why I did that, because she's probably cringing right now. Oh, I hate Justin Bieber! That little bastard!
I hope never to be able to identify a Justin Bieber song. Thank you very much. I'll lose the $5 on that one every time.
I thought it was funny because when I do the music for the show, I always call through the Billboard charts, and I saw this come up, and I've never heard of, I think I've heard maybe 5 seconds of a Justin Bieber song. And this one had an interesting beginning. I thought, this is kind of a cool song. And then I started talking about the boyfriend thing. I got to put Denise on. I don't know why. So, just a couple minutes left in the show. I wanted to point about the idea that there's the, I lost it. Train derails. The Hydro Hut, that's the point.
They have the new contest.
Well, thank you. So we wanted to start with Hydro Hut. We heard during the commercial that there's the big the ballast deal, the light deal.
The light deal. It's we now got it with it's a $200 deal with a magnetic switchable ballast, 1,000-watt, with the bulb, and with the max loom wing.
Sweet.
And then we also got a 280 deal. It's 280 out the door, and that comes with a 6-inch cooled hinged hood. 1,000-watt ballast and 1,000-watt bulb as well. Whether you want metal highlight, HPS, up to you, doesn't matter.
Hydro Hudson, Inkster, really easy to find. Where at?
Really easy to find, right on the corner of Michigan Avenue and Inkster. We're on Michigan Avenue. It's 27332 Michigan Avenue. You can get us at 313-228-5544.
And mention you heard him on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. At your first time deal, you get a discount, yes?
20% off of whatever products that you want, the entire bill, not just one item like most of the shops that are doing right now, just one item. We'll do 20% off the entire bill. We got tea coming up. We're about to be brewing our own micronutrient tea.
Wow.
I'm going to be giving it away for the very first gallon to everybody.
Don't drink it, though.
Oh, don't drink it. It's going to be the nectar of the gods. It's for your plants. It's going to be a complete microbial tea that inoculates.
Well, then you definitely don't want to drink it.
No, it wouldn't be that
when you dissolve guano and stuff.
But the plants are going to love it. Your digestive system won't like it, but your plants will love it.
And you're going to get it for free when you come into the shop and grab one. We're getting ready to brew it up, probably starting next week. I just built the whole brew system and everything, so I guarantee you're going to come back for more. That's why I'm letting you have it for free for the first time.
Excellent.
Wow, you heard it here from the horse's mouth on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. Adam told you from the Hydro Hut.
Mm-hmm.
So please stop down in Inkster and see them.
Definitely. We're soon going to have shirts printed up, too, so we'll be handing out shirts for free every purchase, so we can't wait. Things are rolling. We've been open for almost 7 months now, and things are just going on a ball for us. Real good.
So if things go as planned, we'll see Haas down at the thing next weekend doing our show, because that's the next time you'll hear us. We'll be live out at Cinco de Mayo. Which is really the same day as the million. Oh, I always want to say Million Man March. It's not, although it seems like
Global Medical Marijuana March.
Right. And so that's going to be a live remote from Grand Circus Park. Hopefully, we'll get some T-shirts from Haas that have the correct monitoring on there, and if we'll give some away. Maybe you can come down and buy one. Now the contest. The contest is going to start now. Like, if you go to the front page at RadioWeedShow.com, off to the left-hand side, please go there. If you get a chance, you're listening on the podcast, if you check us out later, go back to RadioWeedShow.com. There's a place where you can register for the site. And it's just a quick registration. I think all that's required is your email address and your name. That's it. I think that's all it is.
It says register here to be part of the on-air contest.
Right. So
what do you win?
So that's the deal. We're going to start an on-air contest, and it's designed to just build listeners. And so the idea would be next week we're going to take a random person off of the website. Bob's building a generator. Will just pop up a random person off the list, and we're going to call you during the show next week. So you'll have to select the option to put your phone number in there, because if you don't put your phone number in, we can't call you. So we're going to call you during the show, and then we're going to ask you a detail about this week's show. And you got 20 seconds to answer it. If you know the detail we got, it'll just be a simple question, And I already know what we're going to do. I already know what it's going to be. And so we'll ask that question. If you can answer it, then you win the prize. And the prize is coming from Puff Danny's, who's in Wyandotte. Puff Danny's Glass Boutique and Emporium. And Puff Danny's is the prize he's donated to us is one of those great portable, NO2 whip portable vape. Portable vape.
Vaporizer.
So that's worth at least a couple $100, man, and all the accessories and stuff that go with that. And it's something that everybody wants, and I think it promotes good, safe medical use. So that's a good thing. So that's the prize, and then what will happen is as soon as somebody ends up winning the prize, we'll have another one behind it. Another one from Puff Danny's, or another great prize from. So maybe we can get one from Hydro Hut.
Definitely, yeah, we can get something going. I can definitely have something to offer, a package deal for a light Eve setup or a train package, something.
Yeah, we'll put something.
Another contest.
Exactly. Well, it's the same contest. It'll just be the different prize, and we'll talk about you during that period.
Sounds like fun.
Now, man, I wanted to do, we got our new intern guy here. It's Ryan. Now, Ryan, get a mic real quick, because we only got about, maybe 40 seconds left in the show. He's going to start interning with us, and, he's got a big interest. I wanted to get, he wrote some news. We've run out of time. I feel like we're, pulling a Jimmy Kimmel on you.
Ryan, tell us what college you go to.
I'm at Specs Howard School of Media Arts. It's a great place. They'll teach you what you need to know, get you ready to go. And it's been very enjoyable.
So we're going to see if we can't get him maybe do a little bit of news. I think that would be really good.
Yeah, I think that will be nice. I did write up some stories, and we just have so much information that we didn't have time, but we'll work on it for next week for sure.
So next week, remember, we're live out at the Grand Circus Park. Stay tuned, because the Detroit Homegrown Show is coming up next here on 1310.
Marijuana Radio Show and RadioWeedShow.com are trademarks. Copyright 2011.
The comments, ideas, and opinions expressed in the preceding program are those of the show participants only. Nothing stated in this program reflects the ideas, opinions, or beliefs